Moguls, it's Dr. T here, and we're going to do an upgrade that's really going to elevate your reality, just make you that much more valuable of a person. It's going to raise your frequency and it's going to just help you attract and create what it is that you're really intending. And just also help you have a better trajectory to your highest destiny. And so, what we're doing today is we're really looking at the strategy that allows you to trust yourself. And this is really important because when you can trust yourself, it's not as critical to be able to trust other people, which I know is typically what people are wanting, that we can trust someone else. But given the fact that most people are wanting to trust other people, when they haven't even come to a point where they can trust themselves, makes it kind of challenging. And then we're trying to do an outside job when it's an inside job. And it's also requires an important strategy. So, trusting ourselves is one of the highest orders of reality that we can have because we're really going to be able to go on our trajectory at a much better clip, a much better pace, and a much better level of enjoyability. And again, a level of strategy that's allowing you to achieve what you intend and have the success that you want. So, in order to trust ourselves, this can seem like this very complex thing. And I've seen people, and I've had my own moments, and I've seen so many people just wrenching over, can I trust myself? I don't feel like I can trust myself. They're struggling back and forth, back and forth. How do I make this decision? How do I know what to do? And the reality is that we can trust ourselves. One of the most valuable things we can ever do. And we can be a trustworthy person to our own selves, one of the most valuable things we can ever be, with this amazing super strategy. And that strategy is to get in the habit and get in the intention and get into the programming of yourself to tell yourself the truth, to be in a truthful relationship with yourself throughout every given day, the week, month, year, and to really begin to build a truthful relationship with yourself, whatever that truth is, so that you can completely trust yourself and you can get to such a point because you've built the trust up with yourself over many day to day small things, awarenesses, moments, communications with yourself. Uh, and when you make a commitment to a trustworthy relationship with yourself, you really make a commitment to living out your highest potential. And my sense is it's one of the sweetest realities we can have with ourselves and one of the coolest, but it's also one of the most dynamic because we're in a world where so few people are. And it's just the way this interesting system that this human system we're in is at this point because we're at a very primitive state after thousands and thousands of years, eons really. We are at a very primitive state. And we got over the course of civilization and domesticating ourselves and each other, we got into some strategy that would never make sense in the earliest days of humans because we would not be lying to ourselves and lying to each other in our relational dynamics to be polite and all this stuff if we wanted to survive. In fact, it was essential for humans to tell themselves the truth and to be honest with themselves and have a trustworthy relationship with themselves in order to survive. And if they didn't survive. And so, in educating people to become a more civilized society, to get along more and with the more and more and more people, and how crowded of a world it is, noisy of a world it is, we got domesticated to lie to ourselves and lie to each other. And when you do that enough, it's really hard to trust yourselves, and it's really hard to know the difference of what is true, what's false, what makes the most sense, and how to trust yourself. So this starts very much with the willingness to let the truth be known to you, whatever it is. And I really mean that, everyone, that if you're receiving a truth, an awareness, a perception, a signal that XYZ is going on, and this is something you need to be really clear about and really honest with yourself with, whatever it is and whatever that means, it's essential that you do that, because sometimes people are attempting to be honest with themselves. They're getting awarenesses, they're getting truths that come in from their perceptual processor. And then because they don't like the truth, they negate it, they push it away, they push it off because it's like, well, that's inconvenient. That's an inconvenient truth. And this is the kind of stuff that our society does, humanity does, that is like the reason that we'll probably literally freaking burn ourselves up on this planet and ruin it, our own home. Because we have been socialized, conditioned, and programmed to lie to ourselves, because we're also being lied to all the time through the system and all the proliferation of information. And being able to trust oneself and being able to live in a very trustworthy state where you can navigate because you trust your own ability to navigate through your trajectory to a higher destiny, comes with accepting whatever the truths are. An example might be a friend that you have, and something about that friendship is not a fit for you anymore, or something like that. And you got the signal and you got the awareness, which is really more the awareness of you're meant to navigate in a certain direction. And you're getting a truth and you're getting a signal. And because we also have been taught that we have to be a good girl and a good boy and be perfectly this and that, some truths we think are bad are wrong. We've been taught that there's such thing as good and bad. In reality, there's just reality. So some truths we don't like to connect to because we don't like to think of ourselves in a certain way. Don't like to think of someone else that we care about in a certain way. But I want you to think about the truth and being able to trust yourself more as a signal, as a navigation, as intelligence coming to you that says, do, 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 here's some data, and move in the direction that that data is telling you to move. Navigate toward the direction of your higher self, your higher reality, because evolution that is running us, this massive force of nature, is always trying to get us to higher frequency, higher ground. It's trying to evolve us out of the low frequency, dark ages, primitive stages that we are in. So, and like in all rest of the species, if something isn't good, the creature just moves away from it and goes the other direction. But in humans, where we've been socialized to lie to ourselves and each other, and we're being lied to for lots of different reasons in order to control the masses and in order to have some level of order, it can be very convoluted to know, what do I trust? Who do I trust? And how do I trust myself? Um, and so it's that much more important. It's that much more essential that when you get intelligence coming in that says, this is the data and move in this direction, because it always gives you both. This is the data, here's the action, move in this direction. The truth is that but over the course of your life, then what happens is people negotiate with a truth because they don't like it. They don't want to have to do whatever it is that comes with that. So then you become someone who can't necessarily trust yourself because you are not accepting truths that are coming to you, these big pieces of wisdom that are being given to you in order to always bring you to higher ground. And so it's got to be that it's whatever the truth is, whatever the signal is that's saying this is the truth, it's time to start trusting that. And you're going to do it over and over and over and over again until you know what you know and you don't negotiate anymore with truths that are designed just like some creature say it's a lizard slithering along and they're like, oh, they get a signal over here and they go, nope, I'm over here. They're not like, well, but maybe this is a really nice, thing over here that's about to kill me. No, it's like, signal, go over here. We get the signal and we get the direction. We get the navigation. But when you ignore the navigation throughout your lifetime, you'll feel like you can't trust yourself. That will end up with experiences where there's trust issues in all your relationships because you haven't trusted yourself, or when you did, you negotiated with it or someone else overrode that and made you question a truth that you were aware of. And so somewhere, somehow, your navigation system got compromised, and we want to bring it into high functionality again so you can trust yourself with your very life. And when you can trust yourself with your very life, then other people can trust you with their lives, and you can be highly influential, make a contribution, and transform this world, which is what you're here to do. And the only point of what you're actually doing here is to create a more evolved world. So trusting yourself is a very big upgrade, and I'm excited for you to get it. And just start out with, at minimum, accepting truths that come in. You're going to get the action steps, but at least just start trusting the truths and knowing what you know. And if you start negotiating with yourself, just absolutely trust that you are getting a signal, a navigation that is guiding you to your highest level for the whole human family. Because remember, even though we have these little sets of people that we're connected to, we are part of an entire human family, and we are meant to move in a direction that supports our whole family, our whole human family. And evolution is doing all it can to signal to you every day to get you there. So you trust yourself, you get the signal, you move in that direction. That is using your built-in navigation system. All right, everyone. Amazing upgrade here, moguls, taking in one of the most important skill sets, which is to be able to trust yourself, internalizing it. I invite you to make a commitment to it and live a life where you are the most trustworthy person to you that you know. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.